Hello legends, I hope everyone is doing well. I know many of you who has bought altcoins, even the best projects in recent months are down considerably and doubtful if we are in a crypto bull cycle and will we have an alt season. Therefore, I thought to share some information from previous cycle so that you will understand that this is not the first cycle that we experienced such massive drawdown. Considering Bitcoin chart, it is holding well and it is in a strong bull trend. So let's check Bitcoin chart first. This is Bitcoin chart on the monthly time frame. You can see that this was the previous cycle all-time high, and we closed a green monthly candle above that. And these bodies from the previous all-time highs, this one and this one, are holding as a strong level of support currently, and we haven't closed any monthly candle below this level. Besides that, we have this monthly fair value gap here that is acting as a support, and this monthly candle swept the low of May, so May monthly candle, and it pumped back inside the range. So it has swept the internal liquidity. Now it can go towards external liquidity. And if we go to lower time frame, like daily, you can see this is breaker block and it's acting as support, holding Bitcoin and pumping it towards this equal highs and this level. Uh, After that, I expect that Bitcoin will still continue the bullish trends towards 80K and then 90K. That I will share updates about coming Bitcoin targets in my Telegram channel as well. So as you can see on Bitcoin chart, it shows that Bitcoin is in a strong bull trend, and we should expect at some point the money should flow into altcoins, and we expect an alt season in coming weeks or maybe in Q3 and Q4 of this year. Now we go back to the previous chart. Now the question you might ask, then why altcoins are dumping? Is it normal dumps before a massive rally, or we are in a bear market? I think in every bull cycle, at first we should expect that Bitcoin should rally and clear its previous all-time high. Then the money from Bitcoin will flow into Ethereum and top blockchains. So they should break their all-time highs. And then after that, we will see that low cap, medium cap altcoins will pump and hit new all-time highs on their charts. So we are early on alt season, and we should expect that this Bitcoin strong bull trend can suggest an alt season in coming months, and by the end of Q4, I think, between Q3 and Q4 of this year. So we expect that we are in a bull trend and it is not a bear market. I personally think crypto market is bullish and will be even more bullish, both technically and fundamentally in Q3 and Q4 of this year. And I expect these dumps on altcoins are just a massive capitulation before the rally. To support this idea that these dumps are just a capitulation, I have prepared some charts from previous cycle, some altcoins chart that were launched on 20 and 21 the bull cycle. So I will share those charts and you can compare it with new projects that have been launched recently in the last year of this cycle. So you can compare them with current projects, top projects, and you can see that this correction on altcoins, which were 70% or even higher than that, is only a capitulation before a massive rally. So you should not be bearish here, and instead you should be accumulating the top projects that you expect will do well in an alt season. So the first altcoin that I have prepared to compare is this Sand. This is Sandbox, a gaming project. It was looking very similar to current charts of Vandy and many other top projects that were launched in last year. So this is from 21 bull cycle. You can see that it was in an accumulation that it rallied up, then it did a massive correction, 80% correction, and after this correction into a discount area, and if we use a fib from this low to this high, below the discount, below the equilibrium and discount area, it rallied again to new all-time highs and started a big alt season. So this capitulation on Sand USDT was in the previous bull cycle when Bitcoin did a correction. Very similar to current time that Bitcoin did a correction and altcoins dumped massively, like more than 70%. So this is very similar to current alt charts. Now I will play this chart and you will see after this correction how it acted in 21 bull cycle. So this is the weekly time frame of Sandbox. It took 3 months to do the correction, and then after that it did in 150 days it did to a great pump and all season rally to new all-time highs. As you can see, Sand did the all-season rally in 5 months after it did this correction, which was 80%. So many alts are looking very similar to this, and I expect that in Q3 and Q4 and maybe a start of the new year, we will have an alt season very similar to this. So you should not be selling on this correction, which was 80%, and thinking that we are in a bear market. Instead, you should be accumulating at discounts and expect alt season in coming months. Okay, the second chart from previous bull cycle is AVAX. And here you can see that this was 21 bull cycle. It did a correction of 80%, and after that, I will play the chart. You can see how it acted. So I expect many alts are very similar to this alts chart in 21 bull cycle. You can see that AVAX did a 10x after an 80% correction on 21 bull cycle. So let's go to the next chart. The next chart is Phantom USDT. Uh, on 21 bull cycle, you can see that Phantom did an 80% correction before the massive all season rally and did 20x on the all season. So it's also very similar to AVAX and Sandbox charts. Near USDT is another chart. You can see it also did almost 80% correction, then 12x pump on the alt season of 21 bull market. So you can find many charts that are very similar to this, and especially the new projects that have been launched recently in the past year. Many of them are looking like this fast. They have been launched. They did a pump like uh, like many altcoins like Sui, Chain, they did a pump to the upside. Then they are now doing the correction to the downside, which is around 80%. And I think most of them are in this phase on the essential area, key level. And I think many of them will do this all season rally in the coming months, going into Q4 and especially in this Q3. So this is not a time that you be willing to sell your altcoins in a state. It is time that you should be accumulating and holding your altcoins for a potential massive rally, which is alt season in coming months. Okay, now let's see some charts from current cycle and some projects that I expect to pump strongly in this alt season. One of them is Vanri, which is Vanorchen, a layer one project, especially for gaming. So this is one of the projects that I'm very bullish on. You can see it looks like very similar to Sandbox. It did an accumulation, it did a rally, and now after 3 months, it did a correction into this discount area, which was weekly fair value gap and has been supported on here. If you check from the highs to this low, you can see that it was a 75% correction. So let's see if it does a 10x from these lows, how high it can go. If one does a 10x from these lows, it can go all the way up to this level, which is $1, and it will be a 10x. So many altcoins in this cycle looks very similar to Vanri, especially if they are top projects like TIA USDT. That's also doing a correction currently, and it can do a massive rally to the upside. Remember, Sandbox was a 200 million project on this lows, and when it pumped all the way to $88, it did a 50x pump, and the market cap on this level was, and its market cap at this highs was $7 billion. So currently, Vanri is also around 200 million market cap. I think it can do a $2-3 billion market cap in a bull cycle, and it might go even higher, like around 5 billion. And if it does, it will be even more than 10x. If Wondery becomes a 3 billion project in this bull cycle, then the price of Wondery will be around $2. So if it reaches $2, let's see how much pump it will be. It will be a 20x pump from the lows. So as I mentioned before, I think this correction is only a considerable capitulation and manipulation to separate real investors from paper-handed holders. And after this capitulation, we will have a massive rally, I think, in Q3 and Q4 of this year. I hope you enjoyed this analysis and comparing the previous cycle charts with current charts. You can also do this with the altcoins, the new launched altcoins that you think they are top project and can do well in this cycle. Many of them did an 80% correction. Now it's the time for a rally.